guess I'm selfish.
Justin Timberlake, Laura Hardy's Hall Pass, I assume, here on Mix 95.7, Grand Rapids Best Mix. Welcome to Tuesday, April 2nd, 2024. 6 days until the total eclipse.
Yeah, I don't think it's quite that
okay.
ominous, but,
Okay.
you know, it kind of feels like that ominous sometimes with how things have been going lately in general.
Laura, I just wanted to check in and put you right on the spot. And maybe if you're awake and early this morning, you'll be the first to know. Obviously, yesterday was April Fool's Day. We'll talk about some of that stuff that went down. But do you know what today, April 2nd, is?
April the 2nd, a Tuesday.
Technically true, but it's also...
It's peanut butter jelly time.
Peanut butter and jelly day!
Yeah,
Way at, way at, way at. There you go, there you go, there you go, there you go. Peanut butter jelly.
I'm really upset I didn't buy Uncrustables the other day because I thought about it and I could have just had all of the peanut butter jelly today and I really messed up. I guess I could stop on the way home and get some Uncrustables, but then I got to wait for them to defrost and that sucks.
Maybe you could bring them in because confession here, I hear they're great. Like Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift's boyfriend, he will eat those. Our coworker Wendy used to eat them all the time when you were on maternity leave and she was filling in.
Would she really?
Yeah, but I've never had an Uncrustable. I feel like I would want more of a strawberry than a grape. I know those are some of the flavors.
Yeah, no, I think they're good, but there's a window of Uncrustable goodness. Like, they're either too frozen, just perfect, or weird. They get real weird if they sit out too long because just like if you have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich in your lunchbox too long, it starts to kind of seep through the bread. That's what it'll do with the frozen version too. So it's like if you defrost one and wait like 5 hours and try to come back to it, game over. You got to hit it in that perfect window of prime Uncrustableness to really enjoy it.
To celebrate the day, I honestly think I might partake it because that does sound kind of good for lunch.
Yeah.
But I would like to know, 616-600-0957, if anybody else is on the same island I am when it comes to a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, like how I like it.
I didn't know there were ways to like it. Go ahead.
Well, I think I'm going to tell you, and you're going to be like, oh, okay.
Oh, no.
For me, I really don't, I'm not like brand specific, but I prefer,
Okay.
on a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, I prefer the crunchy peanut butter.
That's
like
fine.
Where it's got some of the nuts still in it.
No, totally fine with crunchy peanut butter.
Okay, I thought you were going to look at me like I was
No.
Okay.
No, I'm fine with crunchy peanut butter, but it does have to be Smucker's jelly. Anything else, just get out of my house. And maybe it's a Kentucky brand, and that's what I grew up on. But I don't want your
Smucker's.
I don't want your store brand. I'm sure they're nice. I'm sure it saves you money. No interest.
Are you a grape girl? Or are you a jelly, like a red, what's that, like a
Strawberry
kind of lady?
Happy to take either. I do like grape. I do like strawberry. I also, if we're going to go into, I know it's a jam more than a jelly, but I do love a good blackberry jam.
Ooh, yeah.
So good. Especially in a peanut butter and jelly situation. You do that blackberry and peanut butter. Oh, girl.
You know what's the worst part about talking about this?
I'm so hungry.
We don't have any food.
We have a vending machine.
Yeah, it doesn't have Crustables up in there.
Okay, Pop-Tarts it is.
Hey, vending machine man, get us some Uncrustables. Come on, we're starving.
Just make sure they're at the right temperature always somehow.
It's time for Big Joe and Laura's Need to Know News on Mix 95.7.
Former President Donald Trump is going to be in GR today. He'll be at DeVos Place for what they're saying is more of a press conference than a rally. Several hundred people are expected to actually attend. Now, if you find yourself downtown in that area, you can expect some delays, obviously shutting all the roads and everything down. This is Grand Rapids Police Department Chief Windstrom talking about what goes into a visit like this.
It really starts with the Secret Service reaching out to us and saying the campaign has contacted them, and this is happening, and then that gets the ball rolling. We meet with the Secret Service, the state police, the Kent County Sheriff. We all get together to figure out how best we can facilitate a safe event for everybody.
Between that and 131,
Yeah.
I don't want to be anywhere.
Nope, I'm definitely staying away from downtown today. Thank you. Good luck. Godspeed. There is a 16-year-old tortoise named Yoda who went missing in the UP last month, and it was a whole ordeal.
Lost I am.
I know. He was found 72 hours later on a private property nearby. Thankfully, apparently, he'd kind of just wandered off, which I don't know how a turtle that big just wanders off and no one notices.
Yeah, they don't blend in like, with camouflage.
Well, they said that the neighbor of the turtle thought it was just a regular snapping turtle, and then he saw flyers around town, and he was like, oh, I guess it's Yoda. And so, long story short, he gets back to his owners. Obviously, it's very cold up there. For 72 hours, they're very nervous about Yoda. Thankfully, he pulled through. He's okay. And now they're having a big party to celebrate
All
him.
right, let's go see Yoda.
Yeah, it's actually meet and greet. You really can meet Yoda yourself if you want to. It's coming up on April 12th in Manistee. I think I might be willing to drive to the UP for this because honestly, after following along with Yoda, which he does have an Instagram account, it's Yoda_explores if you want to check it out. I'm a huge fan. Either way, we're glad you made it home safely, Yoda, and hopefully we can make it up for your party coming up in a couple weeks.
I like turtles.
And your final need to know news story. In my house, we usually watch Jeopardy because my wife Lindsay was on the show and she just loves that. We don't watch Wheel of Fortune, so I missed this, but you might have seen it. They pranked everybody last night with the opening of their show.
Really? What did they do?
Jared Leto walked out with Vanna White at the beginning of the show, introduced the first puzzle, and then he disappeared and was replaced by Pat Sajak. And the thing is, they didn't even mention it. Here, this is what happened.
Ladies and gentlemen, here are the stars of our show, Jared Leto and Vanna White.
All right, everybody, grab those devices. It's time to give away some money. $1,000 in our first toss-up. The category is on the map.
What a weird thing to do. I mean, I know he's promoting a new song that we're playing here on Mix 95.7, but what a weird thing.
That's your need to know news here on Mix 95.7.
Is it still considered a date if you don't even have to put pants on? Hey, we're Big Joe and Laura here on Mix 95.7, Grand Rapids' best mix.
I mean, if you think about it, if a date goes really, really well, the pants may not be on when it's over.
No, but you're supposed to start with the pants at least. See, here's the deal. There's a new poll by the dating app Wingman, which I've not even heard of this app, so take it with a grain of salt, I suppose. They found that first dates over video are now more popular than meeting up in person for people under the age of 30.
Really?
Yeah, they say singles between 18 and 27 were asked if their ideal first date would be getting together or chatting via Zoom and FaceTime or anything like that. And 63% of them said, yeah, I would much rather talk to you on FaceTime or Zoom than I would to actually go in person and have a date with you.
That just seems really weird. I mean, maybe back during the pandemic, I know I had beers with somebody. It wasn't dates, but
Yeah.
even that didn't feel normal.
Well, they say it's more efficient, it's cheaper than a real date, and a lot of people feel intimidated to do face-to-face. So it's kind of like almost having a soft date, like, hey, let me tread the water a little bit, spend a little time with you over here before we really invest in a nice dinner or going out somewhere. But I don't know, it feels so non-committal. Like, I feel like I would be more offended if someone ghosted me on a virtual date than if they did on a real date. Because it's like, you didn't even have to put pants on. All you had to do was connect to the call, and you couldn't even be bothered to do that.
Yeah, it's like, oh man, my Wi-Fi's acting all funky. I don't know what's going on. I wanted to meet you, but I couldn't.
No, exactly. And you and I both have not really been single in the era of dating apps or any of that stuff.
All I ever got on, like, briefly was, I think, Plenty of Fish. Everything else, like, I missed out on all of it.
I was single for a little while Tinder existed, but I refused. I'm not doing it. No way. It's too stressful. I'm not messing with it. The closest I would get to something like this is my friends and I did friend dates during the pandemic. So we would get together. We had a group chat of 4 of us. It was my husband, James, before we were dating, our friend, Ben, and one of our other friends would all get together in a group chat and talk, and then we'd watch movies together. So like we would be like, okay, at 8:05, we're going to start this movie all at the same time. And then we'd watch the movie together and text the whole way through it because, you couldn't get together. And that was like the only way to hang out. And so I could see the appeal of like watching a movie with somebody like that, or, maybe eating dinner together, especially if you live in different cities. Maybe you're trying to see somebody and they live, in Kalamazoo and you don't want to make that huge drive. Maybe having a virtual date I could kind of understand before you commit to actually going all the way down there or even in another state or something. But I don't know. Is this virtual dating thing legitimate, or is this just something that the internet is trying to sell us because 4 people said that they do it?
616-600-0957. That's 616-600-0957. Would love to hear if you think this is a good idea or a bad. Only plus side I can see to this.
Okay.
You know how often I spill food on myself when I'm going somewhere in public?
You just have to zoom in real close to your face. They'll never know.
I'm like, hey, give me 1 second. Go change my shirt. We're doing great.
It's time for Big Joe and Laura's Need to Know News on Mix 95.7.
Former President Donald Trump is going to be in GR today. He'll be at DeVos Place for what they're saying is more of a press conference than a rally. Several hundred people are expected to actually attend. Now, if you find yourself downtown in that area, you can expect some delays, obviously shutting all the roads and everything down. This is Grand Rapids Police Department Chief Windstrom talking about what goes into a visit like this.
It really starts with the Secret Service reaching out to us and saying the campaign has contacted them, and this is happening, and then that gets the ball rolling. We meet with the Secret Service, the state police, the Kent County Sheriff. we all get together to figure out how best we can facilitate a safe event for everybody.
Between that and 131,
Yeah.
I don't want to be anywhere.
Nope, I'm definitely staying away from downtown today. Thank you. Good luck. Godspeed. This month, you have the chance to enjoy the Blandford Nature Center for free. They partnered with the Lake Michigan Credit Union to offer free admission for the entire month. Not only will you be able to go into the center and do the trails, you'll also be able to participate in their special programming, which is kind of cool because that's like the extra educational stuff that's super fun for the kiddos. And they're doing it all in honor of Earth Day, which you may or may not know is coming up on April the 22nd. Have you ever been to the Blandford Nature Center?
I have not been inside. I've driven by it several times, though.
I really want to go bad because I think it'd be really fun to take baby Justin, especially now that the weather's kind of acting right, and we could go take the stroller. And I know they have a few of the paths that are a little more easy to navigate with the stroller. So I'm super excited to go.
I'll go with you if Lindsay will push me in a stroller.
There you go. I think that's a fair compromise.
And your final need to know news story, you should always pay attention when pedestrians are crossing the street, but let's be honest, with distracted driving and everything else, sometimes people don't. A pedestrian safety group in Vancouver, they've got an interesting way to deal with drivers and make sure they're paying attention to people crossing the street.
The pedestrian brick crossing system. Friendly wave with a pedestrian brick is sure to attract the attention of the errant driver and ensure a comfortable, conflict-free crossing of any busy street. Step 1. Pick up the brick. Step 2. Look both ways. Step 3. Make eye contact if possible and wave the brick, showing off its bright color and attractive corners. 4. Complete your crossing and deposit the brick in the receptacle on the opposite side of the crossing.
Oh, this is genius. I can't believe I didn't think of this first, because the idea of throwing bricks at people's cars when they don't pay attention to me crossing the road is exactly what I'm looking for.
I feel like this is something, Laura, you need to bring to the U.S. and Michigan.
I'm definitely going to be at the next Grand Rapids City Council meeting with this suggestion. Don't you worry.
I'm sure the mayor can't wait to see you. That's your Need to Know News on Mix 95.7. We are Big Joe and Laura on Mix 95.7, and I have been out of the dating game for 10 or 11 years, but even you, Laura, who recently got married, this is kind of a weird thing that they're saying Gen Z is doing.
Yeah, they say that people under the age of 30 specifically are more likely to want to go on a virtual date than an in-person, face-to-face date for varying reasons, including the pressure, the money, and just that it's a lot easier than, going and meeting someone in the first case. And we think, are these real people, or is this just something that the internet's telling us people are doing to make us feel bad?
I mean, I don't mind the idea of saving money. I am like the cheapest guy in West Michigan, but
Absolutely.
how are you going to make out with your laptop?
Well, I mean, I think you have to wait till the second date, which hopefully you meet in person if the first one goes well. But we did get a DM from Kelly and Allegan inside our Mix 95.7 app. She said, I went on a virtual date with my now husband, and I think that's the reason it worked out, because he's so anxious in person. I think he would have ruined his shot had we gotten together in person to start.
I didn't think about that because you can kind of have things under control.
Yeah, well, and there's also that, oh, hold on, I got to go do something, and you can walk away from the camera and and let it go. So
Hit the inhaler.
Listen, if I go back out to the dating pool, I get the appeal. I might be on team virtual dates to start.
It's time to play Laura Can't Lose on Mix 95.7. Here's how it happens. Laura leaves the room, and we all enjoy the silence for a little bit, and you'll have 1 minute to answer 5 questions. You can pass if you need to, and we'll come back if time allows. A tie goes to Laura because, well, her name's on the show. Here's who's playing Laura Can't Lose today.
Representing Muskegon, we've got Destiny on the phone. Hey.
Good morning, Destiny. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling lucky.
Well, I think you could be lucky. The Michigan Lottery jackpot is up to $40 worth of scratch-off tickets. If you beat me, you'll walk away with those tickets. If you don't, it'll just continue to grow. Or if you tie me, it'll continue to grow.
Destiny, let's get this game going. Go ahead and kick Laura out of the studio.
Laura, get out of here.
All right, I'm gone. See you.
Okay, as soon as Laura gets out of here, I will ask you question number 1. Dollywood is in which U.S. state?
Tennessee.
Question 2, what do fish breathe through?
Gills.
Question 3, what's the popular reality show that tries to validate or dispel tall tales and stories?
Pass.
Question 4, what meat comes from a sheep?
Okay, pass.
Okay. Question 5, the gravitational effect of this affects the tides.
Oh, the moon. The moon.
Question 3 again, what's the popular reality show that tries to validate or dispel tall stories?
Myth.
Question number 4, what meat comes from a sheep?
I guess I don't know.
Okay, no answer there. I'm going to bring Laura back in. Laura, you can beat Destiny and Muskegon today if you get all 5 right. If not, you got to get 4 to tire.
Okay, let's see how I do.
Question number 1. Dollywood is located in which U.S. state?
That would be Tennessee.
Correct, 1-1. Question 2. What do fish breathe through?
Their gills?
That is correct.
Their tiny mouths? No, I'm kidding.
2-2 heading into question 3. What's the popular reality show that tries to validate or dispel tall stories?
Mythbusters?
That is correct. I wanted to say Miss, but that kind of gives away the name of the show.
Ha.
3-3 going into question number 4. What meat comes from a sheep?
Mutton. Wait, what do you mean?
I was looking for lamb.
Lamb is a different animal.
No, lamb is a baby sheep.
No, it's not. It's a completely different animal, Joe.
All right, we will go. What is a lamb? A young sheep.
Really?
Yes. You always call me out on this, but yet the question master over here
Yeah, but you said
knows
that
his stuff.
what comes from
What
sheep?
meat comes from a sheep? Okay, we're gonna throw this question out. we're gonna do that. We shouldn't have to, but I'm doing that. So, okay. By the way, in my opinion, you both got that wrong. So,
What?
Going into question 5, it is now 3-3. The gravitational effect of this affects the tides.
That would be the moon.
We somehow, some way, have come to a 4-4 tie today.
Because
that
Joe
is
doesn't
correct.
know the difference between a young lamb and a lamb, so we only had 4 questions.
All right, that's coming from the black sheep of the show. Hey, Destiny, can you come back and play Laura again tomorrow?
Yeah, that sounds good.
When you meet someone and they say they work in a certain profession and you immediately think that they're a red flag, what's the profession? We want to hear from you. 616-600-0957. We're Big Joe and Laura here on Mix 95.7.
I feel like Laura, the most obvious one to me. I don't have experience with this, but it would have to be a bartender. And I'm not trying to knock it, but especially if you're a female bartender, you have stuff thrown at you all the time.
It's not nearly as bad as you think it is.
So there's something that even has a higher one then, okay?
Yes, and you'll be surprised at the number 1 and number 2. I would figure these are very noble people, but apparently not so much. Number 5 on the list was pilots and flight attendants. You're traveling to weird cities.
You're in a
meet people.
hotel?
Yeah.
Like, you have to be in a hotel.
Exactly. So that one's not surprising. This one's also probably not surprising. Men in the military. I mean, you're deployed.
Well, I would say women in the military too, because my one buddy, I grew up with, his sister. Well, anyways, she was similar to the guys they're saying.
Yeah, sure. I believe it can go across the boards. Now, number 3, as you guessed, bartenders.
Of course.
Yeah. Number 2, surprising, police officers.
I think it's the uniform, and I'm not justifying it, but I got to imagine there's a lot of stress if you're a police officer and all the stuff you go through every day.
But aren't you going to stress yourself out more cheating on your significant other and trying to cover that up?
I assume it's a quick release, and you just like it. Yeah, you still might have it in the back of your mind. That would be me. If I was a cop and I was like, oh, I'm so stressed and I cheat on my wife, I'm like, oh, crap, I cheated on my wife.
Yeah, no, you're just more stressed out. And number 1, I cannot believe this is the most likely to cheat according to a divorce lawyer on TikTok, firefighters.
It's the same thing, I feel like.
No,
it's the uniform.
Supposed to be lifesavers.
Well, they might have saved that person's life that night. There's a fire in my bed. Can you put it out?
Can you put it out? Sir, use your hose. 616-600-0957. We want to know what profession you think people are most likely to cheat in. Now, used to be on the list. I'm going to go ahead and throw all of our coworkers under the bus. Radio DJ used to be always in the top 10 for that. And I've known enough people in this industry. It doesn't surprise me. I don't think you or I are in that category, but I've known people before that I've worked in different markets who were very shady, not nice people. And there's some people that live here in West Michigan that I know have had some questionable things in the past. No one, again, that we're closely affiliated with.
I would say you kind of hit that on the head. Like, nobody would hook up with me when I was, like, younger and single. But if they would have, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, I had a lot of people weirdly hitting on me in Louisville when I was working on a rock station. Those dudes were a little too much at times. And so I was glad to come over here to the girls and hang out with my ladies who don't weird me out when they're just trying to talk to me. But we want to know from your personal experience, maybe you've been cheated on, maybe you work in this industry and you've seen a lot of it. Which industry has the most cheaters? Give us a call, 616-600-0957. Again, that's 616-600-0957. Sometimes you meet somebody and you go, oh, you work in that field? Oh, you're shady. Hey, we're Big Joe and Laura on Mix 95.7 Grand Rapids Best Mix. And a divorce lawyer recently went viral on TikTok sharing the 5 professions that are most likely to cheat. And so we're asking you this morning, which profession do you think has the most cheaters? You can give us a call at 616-600-0957. Devin from Lowell, what profession, in your opinion, has the most cheaters?
Fast food workers, definitely.
Really? Okay, spill the tea. What's your experience with this?
I worked at one in particular. I'm not going to give the name of it, but we've had many stories. In fact, I have 4 kids total and 2 moms. Both of them I met working there.
Ooh.
And
is this the same location or whatever place this is, or just like the
same
same
location, same location, same thing? It was. I had a way with people, I guess, and one of the relationships was like the worst kept secret there, and ironically, we covered up another relationship going on with another couple. You know, when you're like the managers and the lower level people not supposed to, get together.
Sure.
We were like the worst kept secret. Everybody kind of knew, but they couldn't say anything. Then there was a second couple that was doing the exact same thing, but because they're focused on us, they didn't notice them.
Was the cheating, do you think, in the fast food line of work, does that happen on the job? Like, do you guys go into the freezer or whatever, or is this like out of work?
It's happened in work. I'll say that I've done some things, not all the way, but I've covered a couple of bases. But, yeah, it does happen. But definitely more outside of work because, like I said, you work hard, you play hard. Especially in, it's kind of a fringe benefit.
Oh, yeah. I mean, listen, fast food is one of the most stressful jobs you can possibly have. If there's a way you can blow off steam, even if it's not the most productive way to do it, I totally understand why you do.
Yeah, exactly.
Devin, thank you for sharing that. And now I'm kind of questioning my friends that work at fast food places.
I was going to say, now I'm going to wonder if my food was made with love or with passion.
Oh, the special sauce is definitely special, trust me.
Oh, no. Bye.
Devin!
Have a good one.